Welcome back to my channel. I mentioned this particular news. Donald Trump was spied on by Israel, and Pentagon right now is on high alert. In fact, this is the highest alert they have issued ever because of the activities of the Israeli spying Mossad agency, like other foreign entities, who knows, but primarily they're worried about Israel. And that's what they said, that we are worried about Mossad's activity, Netanyahu's activity. We do not know what they are doing. So they have raised the spying alert to the highest in Pentagon. And therefore, it is a very bad situation for the Donald Trump administration. Now, we also have other reports coming in the news. As you can see, some of these images, I just want to play it right here. It basically is saying that significant escalation, quote, happening in Middle East tensions as of June 26, centering on renewed direct military engagement between Iran and Israel. So Donald Trump right now has a lot of reasons to panic. Reports indicate that Iran launched missiles towards Israel with air raid sirens, triggering across northern regions, including the Haifa area. Israeli strikes in Beirut. The escalation follows intense Israeli airstrikes on Beirut's southern suburbs, specifically the Dahiya district, which Israel identified as a Hezbollah command center. Now, these events have effectively strained or shattered a recently established fragile ceasefire. Now, we have also this report, Iran, in response to the growing instability, regional air travel is facing significant disruptions, and Iran is also launching retaliatory strikes, including flight diversions and airspace restrictions. So Iran is attacking. We have flight diversions, we have restrictions in the airspace. So it is all hell right now breaking loose. Iranian rhetoric, Iranian leadership, including the parliamentarian speaker Ghalibaf, he issued strong warnings characterizing the U.S. and its regional allies as legitimate targets and signaling readiness for further retaliation. Now, all of these are coming at a time when we have also reports that Iran has nuclear weapon. And I will play a video so you can hear for yourself where Donald Trump himself is saying something very, very strange. In fact, what I understand from that particular interview, again, I'll play the interview in a second, is that Donald Trump knows Iran has a nuclear weapon, and he even knows how Iran got that. So I'll play the video in a second. But air traffic, airspace restriction is happening right now, and external reports confirm that as of June 8, 2026, the situation remains highly volatile. The strikes in Beirut and the subsequent Iranian missile barrage mark a critical departure from truce brokered in April. International efforts, including calls for restraint, are struggling to manage the intensifying cycle of violence between the involved parties, with concerns mounting over potential long-term broader regional conflict. In fact, if you take a notice about what is happening right now with the international community, they do not talk. Okay, if you have noticed that, they do not talk. Like France, Germany, whether it's African countries, South American, North American countries, none of these countries are speaking out to, have this violence be restrained. They're not saying anything. I mean, in the past, we have seen when a war will break out, everybody will like, hey, just calm down, guys. But this time, no, it's not happening. Why? Well, it is because they know it will be worthless, and US will not listen to them. Israel will not care. And Iran right now with nuclear weapon, according to some reports, they are not going to care whatsoever. As you can see, these strikes happening right now in Lebanon. Why did some Iranian flights turn back? Well, the skies in Iran is very, very unstable. According to a report, flight tracking outlets reported that an Iran Airbus 300 flying over Tehran to Jeddah diverted back to the airport in Iran. Means the situation right now is such that Iran is prepared for a full-scale war against Israel. And a separate flight from Tehran to Istanbul made a mid-air U-turn. The speaker or the commentators, they note that the official reason for these sudden course changes remains unknown, though these incidents occurred as authorities monitor the rapidly evolving security situation across the Middle East. So even though Iran did not say why these flights are making U-turns, why the airspace is jammed, and also in some other places totally empty. They are not letting any plane to fly. They're not saying that what is the actual reason. But by looking at what is happening in the Middle East, I think anybody can say that it is because of the war breaking out between Iran, Israel, and of course United States military. Where did Israel strike in Lebanon? Well, according to a report, Israeli airstrikes targeted Beirut's Dahia district, referred to as Daha in the transcript, which is southern suburb described as a long-standing Hezbollah stronghold. So Iran is basically saying that we are not going to keep silent when these suburbs in Lebanon are coming under attack. Now, Iran says the nuclear talks are stuck and it just happened Trump a bill for restraining them. Okay, according to a senior Iranian advisor, the US must release $24 billion in frozen Iranian assets as a test of trust, quote unquote. That's a remarkable demand because Iran is not asking for a deal. No, not at all. It's asking for proof before the deal. Now, the question is whether Trump negotiates or walks away. I do not think that Iran will negotiate with Donald Trump until they get that $25 billion unfreeze. Take a listen.
In my opinion, the negotiations are at a deadlock, and Trump must break this deadlock.
So the frozen assets are the big problem right now.
This is a sign of trust building. If Trump takes the negotiations seriously, $24 billion is not much to America. If he wants to reach an agreement with Iran, this $24 billion is a test of trust that Iran wants to have with Trump. This is a test that America must pass, and the path will be opened. In my opinion, the negotiation...
Now, why he would be putting a condition, why Iran would be putting a condition before any negotiation happens? Well, it is because, according to some reports, as I have said in the beginning of this video, they do have something that Donald Trump is terrified about, and that is the nuclear weapon. Now, it says that Iran's foreign minister officially announces they have nukes while threatening Israel with nuclear strikes. Now, let's take a listen at this particular commentary from Alex Jones. He is saying here something interesting.
99% of what I've said is all on public record, and you now know what these new moves mean. And the last 1% is what I learned over 15 years ago, 15, 16, 17 years ago, from multiple sources, and I didn't get much information from a very close source. They just said, no, they've got nukes, and that they'd seen the information. And we're talking about
okay,
Iran.
So now they have
material.
got nukes. Okay, that's the news from Alex Jones. He's confirming that. It was also confirmed by Larry Wilkerson, Larry Johnson, many other experts, analysts who are observing the situation, monitoring it very closely. Right now, it is a game over for Donald Trump and also for the Zionist state of Israel. And this is why perhaps Israel is spying on Donald Trump to make sure that he doesn't make any decision without letting them know first. Because right now, situation has reached to a point where Israel is facing existential threat with Iran having nuclear weapon. They do not want the United States, in other words, to lead in this situation. They want to lead it by themselves, and they want to make all the decisions. So they are spying on U.S. to see what they're doing, what conclusion they are coming to, and then Israel will announce, or who knows, all of a sudden will nuke or try to nuke Iran. Who knows? We will not know right now, but it is possible. I'll give you more updates on the situation.